for those of you who do not know me, my name is Aniebet Asara. I am the head of trading desk at A Plus Trading Hub. I've been trading for over 7 years now. I've been trading for over 7 years now, and we've been running this webinar for, I think this is the second should I call it second episode, Abi, batch 2, Abi, whatever that is. So this is the second time we are doing it again. We did the first time was last year. So we intend to be doing this every year, and from time to time we keep doing webinars like this inside the community. So it's time, just like I said, I'm going to go straight to the point. I believe you can still see my screen, and let me reveal to you the forecast for this year. For me, this is the forecast for this year. So I'll be starting with dollar. So I'm bullish on dollar. I'm bullish on gold for the year. This is the general market outlook for the year. Bullish on stocks, bullish on crypto. Though crypto, we may likely start to see strong bullish moves from Q4 this year. Then US oil. So this is the general market outlook. So let's jump to the charts and see some things for ourselves. So this is the dollar. We can see price bouncing off multi-year lows down here. This is multi-year lows. Since then, price has been trading in a range. If I should switch this to a daily time frame, you will agree with me that price has been in this range since this was July. Price has been trading within this range and is yet to break out. On the fundamental side of things for the dollar, we are still in a K-shaped economy. Inflation is rising and jobs numbers is falling. So what if we see good job numbers and inflation is slowing down, then the Fed starts holding rate instead of cutting rate. Maybe they pause the cutting or the whole rate in the next coming months, then we may see more strength in the dollar. So technically, this is what I'm looking at on the dollar. This is this range. If we should see a big impulse, maybe in the coming months, or if we see a big impulse from here, breaking up that resistance zone and a retest, then we know that the full bullish swing on the dollar is back, right? But if we don't see this happening, maybe most likely we can see price tapping here, trading within this range again, maybe something like this, and we see the breakout. So anyhow it's going to play out, all we want to see is a breakout of this resistance zone, which is the 100 price level, price zone. If we see that breakout and a retest, then the bullish bias is validated. Right, the bullish bias is validated. That is the outlook on dollar. Then the next one is on gold. Next is on gold. Let's look at gold. Where are you? Okay, so I'm bullish on gold too. So this is why I'm bullish on gold. Now, the national debt, especially in the US, is rising, and there is debt issue also in the UK, Japan, and the rest of the world. And this is giving gold some balls to keep flying, because we have economic issues almost everywhere, and most institutions and hedge funds, what they are worried about the economic issues that is happening all over, especially in the US. So they rather keep most of their funds on gold. So they continue buying gold. That is why you see gold keeps flying up. And as at this moment, we can't see anything that says, okay, gold is going to crash or the economies of the world is going to get better. We will keep seeing them printing money, and that is going to give strength to gold. So Entering last year, we saw price, technically, we saw price closed above the 3,400 price mark and went all the way up. If I should switch to the daily time frame, you can see price created a new all-time highs around 4,500, and we tested the previous all-time highs around 4,300. So this is a sign that we are going to see more upside on the gold. If for whatever reasons we start seeing a decline on gold, these are the support zones we may actually see, we may likely see price dip down to. First is this zone. We may likely see price dip down here. That is if what, let's just say we get some good news from the dollar economy and things start working well globally, right? Then we can see a price dip down here, and from there maybe buyers will step in again, or the next support zone is down here at 3,400. But I'm not sure price will get to here. What from my research and study with gold, anytime the price of gold gets to a new all-time highs, it keeps creating series of new time all-time highs again going forward. So I'm very, very bullish on gold this year. This is 2026. So if we are investor, just keep buying gold. I'm not saying you should buy from the I'm not saying you should buy from the top. Wait for price to dip a bit, then you can start buying. You can apply this year dollar cost averaging if you're an investor. But if you're a trader, you just want to maybe get in and out of the market. Just look for buying opportunities on whatever time frame you trade. So that is for gold. Then for stocks, I'm bullish on stocks. The S&P 500 hits a fresh all-time highs on Friday. But the latest COT data I looked at this evening shows that the institutions just gradually reducing their bullish bet on S&P 500. So it was a very beautiful year for the S&P, for the stock markets last year. Though the beginning of the year we saw this massive dip, that is about 20% crash in the market. After that, we saw price started rallying up, and from research, I've noticed that anytime we have a good year in the stock market, the next year is most likely to be a good year. But like for example, this year is the stock market. The return on the stock market, especially on S&P, is about 24%. So for this year, we should be looking at maybe 10% or 12%. And based on what I saw on the CAT data this weekend, like today, institutions are reducing their bullish bets. And this is, for me, that is a sign that we may likely see maybe a drop in the stock market, maybe this Q1 or Q2 before buyers start coming into the market. So going down to the daily time frame right now, if you get a drop in price down here, this is an opportunity to buy. So as an investor, this is what you should be looking at for. Look out for maybe a price correction, a price drop this way, then you jump into the market. As a trader, you want to be jumping in and out of the market. You can also be looking out for a break above this resistance, a clean retest, then a continuation of that move to the upside. I hope you are still following me. If you can still hear me loud and clear and you are following all that I'm saying, I want to see you type forex in the chat. Okay, we are talking about stocks. Just type stocks in the chat. Type stocks in the chat. I want to see some stocks in the chat. Someone is saying I can't see your screen. Maybe it's your network. Check your network. So Ken, Agu, Wisdom, Ayola, Baru, Matthias, Austin. All right, great. Richard. I like Richard, always clapping. Yeah. So let's continue. That was for the stock markets. We just look at SP 500. Then the Nasdaq too is looking pretty bullish, looking at it from the weekly time frame. You can see price creates new all-time highs on the Nasdaq. And if I should go down to the daily time frame, similar thing is happening. What is happening on SP 500 may likely happen here. We have a resistance up here, so I'm expecting to see new all-time highs on the Nasdaq. If you get a pullback, then you can buy from there. If there is no pullback, we see price just create a new high, all-time high, maybe next week or the upper week. All you need to do is just wait for a retest of that resistance that will be broken and take your back to the upside. So that is for stocks. Then for crypto, I'm very much bullish on crypto. Just hold on a second. Let me look at my notes just to make sure that I've not missed any key points. Right. So I've covered everything I had to say on stocks. Then let's look at crypto. So I'm bullish on crypto, and I'm going to use BTC as my reference point. So on crypto, price is closing in on a multi-year low. And this low, since price broke this highs, broke 75k, that was 2024, and we have seen price trade above it, but it seems price is going to retest that lows again. So if we see a retest of this level, most likely buyers is going to step in from here, and we may see another rally. Like I penned down here, most likely we are going to see that bullish rallies coming in later in the year, not early this year. Maybe later in the year from Q3, Q4. That is when most likely we are going to see that move. So for crypto, especially Bitcoin, this is what I'm looking at for price tapping here. Then we start buying to the upside, and this is it. Another move. If it dips again to that support, we buy to the upside. For those of you that are in the Masters of Swing Trading community, we already started doing DCA on Bitcoin, Solana, I think Ethereum, and BNB, right? So we've been doing some DCA, buying the dips, more like a long-term crypto investment there. Now, but however, there's something I want to point out on this chart on the daily time frame. So now this is it. For some months now, we have seen this massive drop on Bitcoin, but from December, we noticed that that is November. We've noticed that price has been trading within a range. Now, this is very, very important. This price movement around here is what you should watch out for. It's looking like an accumulation phase. And what happened after an accumulation phase? For those of you who are price action traders, you know that after an accumulation phase, most likely we are going to see an advancing phase. That's price starts going up. So pay attention to what is going to happen around this region. If we see price break above this zone and we have something like this, that is a signal to you that that bullish move has started. I hope I'm clear on this one. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? If you just understand that explanation there, type Bitcoin in the chat. Just type Bitcoin in the chat. If you understand what I just said, explain the type Bitcoin in the chat. Because yeah, I'm seeing that Pius, Ken, Solomon, Etienne, right, good. So now, if you see that breakout of that zone, know that the bullish wave have started. Now, another scenario that may happen is that we can see this. Price may do this, break below, retest this zone again, drop before that move happens. So these are two possible scenarios that may happen on Bitcoin within the next couple of weeks or months. Pay attention to it. Whichever one presents itself, you know what to do. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. We did some housekeeping before now. Mute yourself. Who is that person? Please mute yourself. Don't turn on your mics. So that is for Bitcoin. So if you are a lover of crypto, you invest in crypto, you invest in crypto assets, this is what to watch out for on crypto, on Bitcoin. Then talking about crypto, another asset I love is Solana. So this is what we have on Solana. Solana 2 is trying to test multi-year lows. It's around here, and we saw this resistance being broken. So what I'm looking out for here is a dip into this zone and rebuy. But however, similar case we saw on Bitcoin is happening also here on Solana. If you see this happen, a breakout of that resistance retest, then you know the bullish move have started. If we don't see that happening, then plan B, this may likely happen, and maybe a retest comes down, then we see it heading to the top. This may likely extend, right? Extend to, that is $90 mark. Then you can now buy all the way to the upside. So that is for cryptos. That is my outlook for crypto. Next is US oil, that is crude oil. I'm bearish on this one. Yeah, okay. So my thought process on being bearish on US oil, I shared this in the community, in the group that was it last week or so? That week that we had the Venezuela president captured. Yeah, I shared that. So my thoughts is still the same on US oil. So Trump capturing Venezuela president may continue to send prices of oil lower. Already we can see that oil is sitting at a multi-year lows. This lows was formed since 2021. So price tested it 1, 2, 3. And the basics of price action is that if price tests a zone multiple times within a short period of time, within a short duration, there is likelihood that is going to break through. So we may likely see that happen. And you can see on this chart, we have seen a series of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows into that support zone. So what I'm projecting my general market outlook for US oil is a break below this zone, a retest, then price may likely get to oil may likely get to $41 per barrel. So that is scenario one. That is scenario one, what may likely happen. The next scenario is that we may see price shoot up, tap any of that resistance zone up there before the sell move starts coming in. So I'm purely bearish on oil, on crude oil, not just US oil, even if it's UK oil. I'm very, very bearish. The only thing that can change this bias is that if we see some retaliation from other nations, let's say China, maybe Russia, puts in some words, said no, it's very wrong for US to capture Venezuela and be drilling oil at will, right? So things like that, and maybe battle here and there, that may actually change this outlook. But for now, everything remaining the same, we are bearish on this. If I should switch to the daily time frame, I want you to look at this chart closely. We see this area here looks like a resistance zone. So this might still happen on the weekly daily charts. So may see price go up, tapping to this zone. This is a resistance zone, right? This is a resistance zone. Then price breaks below and keep heading to the downside. So these are possible scenarios on US oil, on the crude oil. And that is my general outlook on the markets for 2026. And that is all the setup. That's not all the setups, yeah. But for now, that is the setups I have to show you. And before I call on the next speaker, which is Trader Casey, to take over and share his screen and dish out all he has for us today, I would like to get some feedback from everyone here. So if you got clarity on what may likely happen in the market within the next couple of months, I want you to type in the chats. Just type 22 in the chat. Just type 22 in the chat. Just type 22 in the chat. If you have gotten some clarity, type 22 in the chat. Adamo, Austin, I want to see some tutus. Yeah, Arabic, Fashola, who else is there? Matthias, Solomon. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. I'm so excited and I'm happy that you are getting clarity as we are entering 2026. This is the month you need to understand what is happening in the next couple of months, Q1, especially Q1, Q2. And Joseph, we are not seeing the screen, it may be from your internet. So just check your internet.
So now, before we get started, we're going to talk about gold as a pay, how it got to be. Sorry. For those of you that followed me for a while, right? You followed me like since I think 2023, because I mean that was where like I really came aboard. Then I stayed my content of since 2022. So I was mostly constantly trading euro and GBP USD pounds, right? And then after a while, before that 2023 got to more like first quarter was over, I started trading gold, right? Then since then, it's been gold, GBP USD, gold, GBP USD. Sometimes I just switch a little bit to silver, right? Other commodities like silver or probably oil. And then maybe once in a while, I think the first time, I think when I opened this chart, it was USDT that was showing, right? And then that's me trading USDT for the first time in 2023. I had an SL on it. The first time I went to trade USDT, I had an SL on it and I left. And then coming back this year, I got my first two trades on it, right? And then I still have this trade setup I analyzed on gold, and this was like swing trade, day trading. I do that in between, right? So now, what happened? What really got me close to gold, and then what I have discovered over time with gold, and how I project gold, how I trade gold, how I've been seeing gold over the whole time, right? I've been trading gold since when gold was at, I think the lowest I've seen gold as a gold trader was 1,600. And if I think two of my accounts have gotten busted. which I am trying everything I do. I'm a bit at getting one back, right? And if I get one back, the last one I just got disabled, and I get it back successfully, I'll still try to find a way to go my first account that was disabled in 2024. Because that account still have data. I was directly documenting everything online. Because I knew that at a point I might not have access to my phone, right? And then my drive and all of this stuff. I mean, I have to rely on social media because I felt like over time it would take a year. I didn't even know it to be taken down, man-made stuff. So the lowest I've seen gold is 1,600, and the highest I've seen gold is 4,500. I've seen, right? And then imagine watching between 1,600, and I'll still be here when it gets to 7,000, and I'll still be here probably get to 10,000, right? Because it's the season, it's the time, right? It's been very long gold got devalued. So I think a lot is going to happen on it, right? So now after the election in 3, I had this friend. He was constantly always trading gold. I mean, I could just open my face. There's nothing to hide about it, actually. So I had this friend, right, that was trading gold. People are raising up. Please just hold up. I am not really on this other screen, right? I might actually just talk first before I go back to the screen I was sharing, because I was not entirely sharing my screen, right? And at the same time, I had this friend that was trading gold. It was always said that when he trades gold, he has to go hell cry, make it a big deal. Like you can't trade gold. You can't, like, gold was just like one big deal as at that time for him. But me, I was just trying to get few things right. I was trying to get few things right. I was trying to get to understand how to control my emotions at that time, and all he was doing was just him and his gold complaining, gold would do this, gold would do this. So at the point, because of the way he was trading gold, it made me start hating gold. I didn't like gold. I felt like the volatility was just too much. 1 minute they're making money, the next minute it's blowing your account. Because of the way he was trading gold recklessly, he was mostly blowing up his account. And because of that, I didn't like gold. So one time, after funding $100, I took my account back to, I entered drawdown. So now remaining $30. I took my account back to $100, and then he now used it to take a trade on gold. And then it was like, because he just blew his own account, like he funded $100 together. Gold helped him. It took it almost to $240, and he received to take the trade out, and then more like gold retrace and blow up his account. I still had my own, but still in JPY, and then it came to my own because it felt like it's so set up on gold. You really needed to take it. You know, when you're so obsessed with something that you don't even know where to control yourself. That was the case of that guy. And then I'm showing my face now. I'm showing my face, right? I think I'm showing my face.
Yeah. Vicky, your screen is
I
showing.
think you guys can see me.
Vicky, your screen is showing, and also we can hear you. Just
Yeah,
ignore the chats. Ignore the chat.
I'm-
Just flow. We cannot hear you.
yeah, because somebody was saying that even if they're not hearing me very well, am I audible? Somebody said I'm not audible.
You're not audible. You're talking like a
I'm not.
Nigerian woman. Hmm? You talk as if you put something for my
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, make nobody
Please,
saw my Vicky for there. Which I'm say she dey do nyanya. Make no saw my Vicky for there.
Hello, Vicky. You're very audible. Don't get distracted. Just flow. Anyone who can't hear
that's
you,
I said check your network. Make no insult my Vicky for we.
anybody who can't hear you, can
Yeah, make
disconnect
that
and
person
join
no
again.
mute me again. Make that person no mute me. My talk.
it's fine, guys. It's fine. I think I don't know if it's the mic. Some people said I'm doing fine. So if you're not hearing me, I think it's from your network. Because the headset is supposed to help in a way, right? It's supposed to make my voice louder from your end. I feel like it's your phone or it's from your own end, not mine, right? My voice should be very clear because of the headset I'm using. So you're not hearing me, and you see him talk like in Nigeria. I don't know how different I'm talking, but I've always been talking this way. I watch my live session every Saturday back then, right? And then I used to talk definitely there's nothing different about how I talk, and this is how I used to talk everywhere, anyhow. So I don't know which Nigerian I'm not sounding like, or am I supposed to use pidgin to sound like a Nigerian? I don't know. So back to what I was saying, right? Oh shit.
Nigeria, that don't happen to you.
It's not. It's not. I just.
Everything.
No, it's
Okay.
not. Did not take delay. I just hit it by mistake.
Okay.
So now
All
he
right.
was making a big deal, like more like I was talking about how I got to have that same experience with gold. And then he executed that trade on gold on my account. I almost went to mad. Even though it's the least loss size, I was like, guy, why would you open gold trade? I don't like gold. You guys doesn't make gold look interesting, and I don't like gold. Why would you open gold on my account? I was very angry. And then I was just waiting for the gold to go my direction, so I closed it. And then I think I ended up closing it out on $10. And I was like, it's not bad. It's not really that bad. So there was this guy back then that used to trade gold. He would be posting gold shit. I'm like, it's not a human being that is trading gold. So what's really special about this gold? Everybody made it look like the closed account, it's a big deal. And then I just thought to myself that this space is challenging me in a way, right? Instead of putting fear on me or fear me, I just have to confront this state in a way, like trade it and see what it looks like. And then after then I left. I think that was more like I left the whole garden because we were trading together. I went back to my space, and then the next day was supposed to be a mute on NFT, I think Friday. And then I did analysis on gold. I saw a buy. And then I came online and I saw a guy also post the same buy for my same entry zone. I was not like, oh, so I'll not end up not having a sell. So I lowered it a little bit below, right? And then open one more position, lowered it a little bit below. I think something like that. But then I think I opened a position and then gold picked the position. News came in, it spiked my direction and made $30. I was really happy, right? Because I wasn't really constant with it. It was not a play I liked. It was not something I wanted. But it just happened that I'm here, right? So I just need to maintain it. So that was like my first experience with gold. And then after then, I went to sit down, study more about about the volatility, how to handle risk management around it. And then that was when I started trading gold little by little. I would phone and trade the spike, small 10, 15, $25. I would grow account to a large amount. And then I would now blow up the account in no time because I mean they are trading gold. But then I felt like whatever I was doing, it was good. I needed to get it right with gold to the point that I want to be profitable with gold. Like if it could give me this amount of money in a very short period of time, it means on a long run, if I get to understand it more better, I could get to do a lot of things with it. So that's when I started practicing more on gold. That's when I started like so now I started practicing more on gold. I started going all out on gold. I would analyze it, I would take the trade. So over time I knew that all I needed to like walk around with gold. I started reading books more, right? Traders find books that were written by traders that used to trade gold. I think there was this online library I used to subscribe to at that time. Then subscribing to the library, it helped me in a way. Like I was picking books that had to do with people that have traded gold, talk about commodities, gold as an asset and all of this stuff. When I was reading it and I was getting to understand, and like somebody was not getting advice to want to trade gold better, you have to know how to work with fundamentals very well because gold is a real asset, it's a real life asset. So you have to work with real-time data as well to get it right. So that was when I dived in deeply into fundamentals. Yeah, because I was already studying fundamentals for GTUSD. I just know like the economics have to come in, right? And then I just felt like, okay, seems good. I know I'm just giving you an instance. I will go back to my screen. Seems gold is more like a metal, right? And then at the end of the day, we are going to go back to the source. What are the things influencing fundamentally? And then, okay, since I was trading GTUSD, what I know that was inflating GTUSD is the US economy. If US economy is strong, GDP economy is weak, definitely it's going to sell. And then if GBP economy is stronger and the USD economy is weaker, it's definitely going to buy. So I already know that this has to do with two factors. Two economy has to, one has to be better than the other, long term, short term, quarterly, annually, one has to be better than the other for it to make a move. Adding that with fundamentals, adding that with technical is already giving you a direction. So once technical gives me a direction, I'll go ahead to fundamentals to find out, is there some data to back up this move that I'm actually trying to make, right? And then there goes like the same thing with gold. So I started studying more on gold, got to find that okay, gold wasn't just a trader. I mean, it's been influenced by economic factors alone. It had to do with the political crisis and all of those stuff. If gold is about to buy, there should be tension or some stuff of crisis that is happening for gold price to. It was more like a safe haven for you to go to when other source of investment is not really stable, right? When two countries' economy are not really stable, people run down to gold because they feel like this one is safe. It's a real time asset, right? And then whatever those people are fighting for, once they are done, gold would always be there. Gold would always be waiting. Gold is everything, right? And then I started studying more on gold. I got to know about gold, and then I knew that the place I have to start working on was getting my entries right, because gold is one play that there was a time that I was very consistent in hitting a sell on gold because I was having issues with entry. Gold, you could actually get the old trend. It's one thing to get the old fundamental right. Come to gold, you know where that gold is going to buy, right? You know where that gold is going to buy. But then at the same time, it takes a whole lot of things for you to be able to catch that move. So technically, you have to be very, very sound. Mentally, you have to be ready that, I said before, that goal you're trying to catch a move with could actually hit you out multiple number of times. So you just have to train yourself enough to know when to enter, when to be part of the market. The thing good is going to definitely leave a footprint for you to see it before you take a move or take a trade on it. And so there was a whole lot of things to study over time. Because definitely, if you want to trade gold because another people is trading gold, or you're trying to trade gold because you think you're going to make money faster with gold and it's going to drain you. If you want to do something, let's say that you have a reason why you are there. For me, it was about challenging gold because I felt like gold was my fear. So I needed to face my fear. So it was a challenge to me that I needed to face my fear. And I was doing everything in my power to make sure I get to understand how this thing works. They said, don't fight your inner demons. Make peace with it. That way you make money in trading. Don't fight your inner demon. If you fight your inner demon, like those are like emotions. When I say your inner demons, the emotions are controlled, the emotions are likely going to trigger you. You lose money, you get triggered. You're now it's fact that you lose that money, get emotional, that it could trigger the anger side of you, which end up making you do more aggressive things to yourself, or you trigger the self side of you that get into depression, get sad, get all of those stuff and all of those stuff, right? So those are like your inner demons you need to work on. So instead of you fighting your inner demons, you have to make peace with it. And then it was gold. Instead of me like running away from gold, fighting gold, gold is never a good thing, saying nothing bad about gold. I just had to do what? Make peace with gold and move towards it. And then when I started moving around it, getting to understand it bit by bit, I'm like, oh, it's not really that bad. Gold is not really that bad. I was trading gold. I got to understand that the little money I was making from GBP USD as at that time was beginning to stable myself. I was giving it back to gold, right? So I slowly dive back into trading the both space. So gold was more like a side chick to GBP USD for me. I was not fully into it. The only time I got fully into gold was like last year. Sorry, 2024. I got into gold fully. I think mid 2024 I got into gold fully. So if I used to just trade it side. Last year, I think the only month I really traded GBP USD was just March. I didn't May. No, April was the month I traded GBP USD last. I just used to go analyze it, and then maybe if I see it up, I might take it. But serious like following up AP was GBP USD was like in April 2025. But then after that, I was trading it. It was giving me money. It was GBP gives you a lot of money. GBP is just like that volatile currency pay that you can actually go to. So I knew that a lot of rich guys I have met, mentors I have met, people that have like make mad money from trading, the kind of money that's in my head. Like just see someone just casually make like 100,000, 200,000 it all had to do with gold. But I know that those dreams are not achieving just one move on just really trying to be aggressive, but over the time you could actually spot a difference between someone that is trading gold. Like their life just happened to be good. Trust me. And then one thing, I want someone, you see someone that is trading gold in a very wrong direction, in a very wrong way. Their life just looks so miserable, like very, very miserable, like so miserable that you think that maybe they just save for the person when it comes to trading. Right? And then once you see someone that is doing good in trading, you would actually think that every other pay does not matter in this life. Right? And it's just all about how you understand it. One who understands it, it treats you like a king. If you don't understand it, it treats you like a slave. And definitely you could be a slave to it all your life, right? You just become a customer to the same thing. Right? And then over time, it all makes sense. I was now building it, I was now understanding it. At the point, gold made me miserable. Like I remember blowing someone's funds that they brought to me with gold. That was like a very awful experience. It's still good. I blew someone's money, blew off, entered, run into debt because of gold. The same gold, right? And then the person I got the money from, I didn't even know the guy was a cold guy, right? And then on occasion of return my money, because she did not really have, not like now, that time my mind was not really open to like contract trading with people. Like we have to sign a contract with the investors and all of this stuff. So the girl don't like, you did not talk about you not refund, you did not talk about you blame my money, I need my money back. So I was like, bro, you know, all this trading world, you trade too, bro, you don't even understand. Until one day you just have to threaten me with like, this is me. Bro came out of his shell and like, I'll find you and all of this stuff. I'm like, bro, chill, you're still coming. I didn't say I will give you your money, just give me time. But gratefully I paid back his debt. Still from the money I made with gold, I think. Yeah, I paid back his debt, but it really took a little bit of time. That was the last time I had anything to do with trading money for people without giving an agreement, right? Without you a court later where you have to sign a court agreement where you have to sign that if this money goes, I have no hand in it, right? And then it was really a tough time for me. I needed to start understanding a lot of things around trading gold. That most time when you want to trade gold, the whole I do 1:3. Let me tell you one thing about this gold trading that we see. All those rules you're setting, I do 1:3. I focus on 1:3. Um, 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 I take one trade. I do this. I do this. When it comes to gold, it doesn't respond to all those things you're listing. Gold doesn't understand all those things you're listing. So if you want to trade gold, things to look out for, right? Is first of all, accept how much you want to lose to gold. That should be the most important thing as a gold trader. Accept the amount of money you want to lose to gold. This is how much I want to trade and lose to gold. Secondly, control your aggressiveness with gold. Control your emotions with gold. When you're trading gold, this is how I want to trade gold. If I take one trade today on this gold and it doesn't go well, I'm not taking a trade again until I see a perfect reaction from gold before I take a trade. You see that thing that you want to do revenge trading on gold I used to do on currency pay. People who do the same thing that you do on currency pay, you just take a trade on currency pay, hit you out, you enter again, hit you out, enter again, and start moving your direction. But gold, if you want to do that thing you used to do with gold, trust me, gold will make sure that at the end of the day, it is the moment that money has gone from your account, let's do it to start moving your direction. Allow gold to breathe. Gold does not really have time to give you that breathing space. You don't allow it to breathe. Allow gold to breathe. If not, you yourself, you will not breathe. Right? So at the end of the day, sorry. So allow gold to breathe. Allow God give you reactions. God is not running. No pay is running. If there was one book I read, a writer said, after when you're getting this book to read, this book was written in the late 90s. I don't know whenever you're getting this book to read. The writer wrote it in a way that he knows that in future, people will come to read this particular book. He said, I don't know when you're coming to see this book right now. He said, I have met the market. And definitely, you're also going to come and meet this market. And you would all one day leave the market. And the market will still be here. There was no explanation to that statement. But at that point, a sane person needs to understand that whether you trade now or you trade tomorrow, what that statement means, what the market is never running. Right? It's never running. Allow good to breathe. Allow good to give a reason. So, like for me, I had to adjust to the fact over time. What actually really helped me, right? I don't think there have been a time I actually set pending order on gold. Gold has taught me to not set pending order. Yeah, sometimes I set pending order on gold and then it go triggers and take ball. Most of my trade on gold has to be direct execution. Get to my entry, I move down to 15 minutes, wait and see what price is doing. It gives me a clear signal that zone is very valid by seeing a rejection. I get to be part of that market. I that is how I've been trading gold for the last 1 year, and it's been an amazing one for me. If I blow money on a gold, like if I have to blow account on gold, like aggressively, you know that account I funded it, the capital is mine, risk. Like I just want to risk the whole capital that is inside the account for that particular trade. Like maybe I could see a setup and I say, I want to take this setup. That setup, my Excel is the capital. So I'll use the sizable lot size. So when I want to swing. Really, see, this thing is most of the things I learn, right? I might not, I read a lot of books that I might not really know the particular book I got a particular quote from. But I think it was from a book called The Consistent Trader. It's not The Consistent Trader, it's the life of one something trader. Or the journey of, I think a journey of a retail trader, something like that. I cannot really recall. I promise that was I read that book in 2022, 2023. Please, I cannot really recall, right? I cannot really recall. So at the end of the day, right after the whole thing, I got to discover this is a particular pattern I have to trade gold with. So you don't just be aggressive with gold. Give gold breathing space, allow it to move, let it come to you, get to the zone you want it to buy from. Right? Gold is one thing. Gold is simple. Gold mostly respects the dynamics of break and retest. Right? Gold respect. If you understand break and retest, you can trade every single other strategy under every strategy you think you have. Probably I've known this. I trade a lot of investment, SMC, FBGs, imbalance, and liquidity pool, buy side, sell side liquidity. All of them, I have those concepts in my head, right? But before I take those concepts into consideration, I have to first of all do what? Follow the simple market price action of break and retest. If gold breaks out of here, right, then I can actually look for a certain pattern that I know how to trade. If gold rejects at this zone, then I look for a certain pattern to trade from here, right? So I definitely know where gold is supposed to sell from. So if once it's not selling from that zone, I definitely have changed my bias. Okay, it's continuous. I don't have time to, I think I make this post more often. I don't have a point to prove to anybody that I'm actually right about a currency pair. I could actually do analysis with you right now and tell you this is what I think. But the moment the market gave me a different language entirely, I've switched up. Someone said, oh, you said you were going to buy gold, now you're selling gold. Yes, I wanted to buy gold. Gold gave me a clear signal that it wants to sell. And that's what I'm seeing, so I need to follow it and sell. I don't need to keep buying gold because I need to prove a point to you that I said that gold would buy. Right? I said gold would buy because that's what I saw. So even in future, God give me another reason why I should sell instead of buy. Because for me, what I do simply is I mark out major zones. If price take out this one, it retains this zone, I sell from here. If price takes out this place, if it doesn't take out this place, then I buy from here. It's simple. It's simple dynamic. It's simple shock. It's a simple everything. Right? And so that is how you understand good. You don't have time to go and hold on to the father. I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll do all the rest of it. So in order to be profitable with gold, understand the risk you want to give to gold, right? Understand how you want to risk to gold. But once you lose that money that you want to lose to gold, stop. Give gold a breathing space. See what it is doing. Understand the trade. If you understand gold trade, you would always actually definitely going to have a good entries, right? Because gold says it's buying. The lead retracement it does, the way for a rejection on the smaller time frame, you swing, you join, you hide, take out the little profits. Now on gold, all the things that you're saying 1:3, 1:2, please don't do it. If you actually see price at one thing about gold is very, very certain. If gold comes to a demand zone and start buying from a demand zone, Nothing is making gold return from a demand from that joint it's moving till it gets to the next zone, the next important zone. No matter how much you're going to mark it, as long as gold has respected a demand zone, it's not going to stop till it gets to the next supply zone. So once you take a trade on gold, if you are buying gold, you enter from a demand zone, right? Look for the next supply zone. Even the next supply zone is in Jerusalem, as high as, be certain that that's the next demand supply zone you're seeing. Put your PP there and leave your gold to move to that direction. Gold is going to dance around for a while. Gold is going to stop halfway. Gold is going to retrace. Definitely gold is not coming back to that demand zone. It's left. But gold will definitely get to that supply zone. And that concept of 1:3, don't bring it to gold. If gold shows you if gold shows you a particular move from this demand to the next supply, and that move is maybe 1:5, 1:7, 1:10, please catch it all. You don't know when next to be able to catch gold next move. That is simple logic. When I come to currency pay, I do 1:3. I'm very consistent on it because on currency pay, the losses is not as big as it will be on gold. The move are not going to be as swift as it is on gold. And then currency pays have a way of, they are not moving that fast. They are moving very slowly. So I could have a chance of seeing a setup frequently, right? The 1:3 frequently more. But on gold, you don't have time to see. The moment you think that the next setup you are seeing will give you 1:3, gold would actually just come and clear up everything, go to the place you didn't even expect. And then you now think the trend has changed on you, confuse you in a way. So now, this face overall movement, the overall trend move, right? Follow it little by little. Just know that that gold is making that long move. It's going to dump at a point massively. It might even go very close to the demand when it's left. Follow it gradually. The next big zone it creates, let it be how you're following step by step, step by step, step by step. It clears a little supply zone. Hold on and wait. Let it give a full reaction because it's going to definitely react to every small supply that is on the way till it gets to that demand zone. And then in the course of, the bigger supply zone, and the course of reacting to the small supply zone, it could give a very drastic reaction. And then you're on a pair. Now the next thing, you not put it up because you think God is going to buy. The way you go take below your accounting. Like that's when you definitely know that a lot of things are going to happen to you when it comes to gold trading. So you just need to understand that this is how it's going to know, this is how it's going to do, this is how everything is going to be about this particular thing. So all those 1:3 deal, if God gives you 1:10, call it. Gold is more of risk to reward over consistent. Gold is more of a risk to reward pay over a consistent pay. It's not going to give you the consistency you're looking for. Look for any trader, gold trader, go to their history. This is what I'm saying it from a personal perspective. Go to their history. If they're able to 10 straight win on gold, then it could be that maybe I don't know how to trade. But definitely, if you go to meet a gold trader, right, you would always see their win very max. I could just phone, let me tell you how crazy gold. I could just phone $100 now, and let him go to give me $2,000 from that $100 on one single trade. Will I be able to maintain that consistency? You don't know when next you get the opportunity. Let me just be honest with you. So we want to see one good move, collect all the risk to reward you think all the reward you think you can collect from that one move. Withdraw it straight and keep. Split it into small quarters and take it back to the market. Repeat the same process. Out of 10 trades you're taking on gold, likely, okay, let me just say, out of 5 trades you take on gold, likely 2 is going to be right, or 3 is going to be right, and 2 is going to be wrong. If you know how to maximize that 3, you are richer than somebody that's trading currency pay. You make more money than somebody that's trading currency pay. But you see that remaining 2, if you don't know how to manage that drawdown from that 2, you'll be more miserable than somebody that's not even trading forex. You'll be more miserable than somebody that is doing bricklaying. That is simple. So now back to the chart, right? Now back to the chat. So quickly, I'm going to wrap this up. I think another person has to speak. Sorry, I just have to say very little thing. So now I'll tell you a particular way you need. Okay. Sorry guys. So I'm just gonna wrap this up. This is weekly time frame, right? This is weekly time frame. So more likely, you've been seeing. I think when I said gold was when I started. Now this is like me marking out major zone. Sorry, my chart. I don't want to disrupt it. Sorry, it's going to look a little bit messy, but these are like key zones I've really marked out, right? These are like key zones I've marked out and tried to have respected them in a way. Right, this is the fifth key zone. One day to get here, another day to get here. These are like major key zones depending on the time frame I'm taking them from, right? And then you see that gold is very much bullish on the weekly time frame, or probably on the monthly time frame as well, because it's like weekly already. So it's already bullish on the weekly time frame. It's moving in a particular direction. Everything here is just like a retracement. So when this retracement happen, what did you expect? You expected it to dump. Okay, for me, if this price, if this zone doesn't hold, because I expected it to spike up and then because it just tapped into the zone and went out. Like if this zone does not respect it, the next zone is here, 3,600. But definitely I knew that gold was not going to come to 3,600 again, because at 3,500 was where of that country, but like they had a major investment around this zone, right? Around this demand zone, there was a major investment. So here is already a demand zone because there's a lot of liquidity in this region. So I didn't expect price to come back here, but at the same time, I expected gold to dump, come back and retain it. What I was expecting was gold come here, dump down to this zone, right? I was expecting it to get here and then continue with it buy. But it just happened that this was the only zone it just came to tap in and then continue to buy. Now on the other side, I think on my account, I posted that gold was going to dump more. Usually when it got here, ejected entirely. I said gold was going to dump more because I expected it to come here, not even here. Those who mentioned gold will go back to 3,000, gold will go back to 3,500. I knew it was definitely not going. I just wanted to see gold around was 3,700. 3,700 gold would get here. But as it stands now, gold respected this demand zone that I marked out. They started buying from it. Now, at the point that I knew that gold was not going to come down, because at the point, this place was a very rough point for me. I got a few ASL. I was not really trading much that November period. Because I knew that so this was the line I marked, right? Typically, I marked this bigger line. The way you see me mark more line, this was where I marked the line. So I wanted to sell from here, right? Sell from here to here. And then there was also a point, if gold doesn't respect this zone, it breaks out of this zone, right? If it breaks out of this zone, full body, definitely any feedback, I'm buying gold all out. And so now we move down to the daily time frame, right? And this is simple. Sorry, my chart is messy. It's deep down. I don't want to delete a lot of things, but then I think I can just delete some. Okay, so like daily. Sorry, please. I would soon be done. Please. So the next thing here was, after that, gold bought this place out. Now this was more like a mini low for me, right? This place was more like a mini low for me. This place was a low because I feel like price reacted here. There was a little bit buy around here, and so this place is more like a low. After this low, the next low is there, and then it dumped into this demand zone, and then pull out. So the ideal thing was it goes up, right? Tap into the zone that I marked out, right? Tap into it. I posted it at the point when price triggered and started selling. So I expected it to sell down to this point. But when it stopped here, it started buying back. I was like, okay, maybe it wants to retest at that point here. But then when it got back here, I didn't really trade it that much. I just posted it on my timeline and said, okay, go to dump from here now that it has come back to this place fully. But then if it does not dump, that's why I drew this line. If it doesn't dump, breaks out, then I'm going to take the next trades. I'm going to look out for more buys. And that was how I got to be in the buys that lead to this breakout. And I was feeling so bad that I didn't trust this demand zone long enough that I would have been part of this old trade. And then price pumps up and breaks this zone. And now it's retested. More like it breaks out on a bigger time frame. This is more like a retest into the zone. It retested into the zone. And then basically it was done retesting on Friday last week. I marked out. That was when I took this swing. So now this swing typically now it's supposed to go take out to this place. Why I mark this place? If price gets to this top, it doesn't take out this high, then definitely good is something from here. But if it comes and take out this high, right? If it comes and take out this high, then definitely good is it continue buying, like maybe 5,000. But I knew one thing was certain, gold was never going to reach 5,000 last year. It doesn't happen like that. But I know that there's supposed to be a major retracement for a new demand zone to be created, because this is a old demand zone that have been validated. I don't know if I'm correct with that English. It's supposed to create a new valid zone for it to work with. Right? So I still expect price to dump in future, but right now definitely it could buy out more. Right? It feels very bullish. And on the other side, it has to maintain. And the two silver are actually on a bullish run. For me, actually predict silver getting to 1,000 before 2027. Sorry, before the end of 2027, 2028. Silver should get to 1,000. And then my prediction still stands on gold that definitely gold would see 7,000. 10,000 is on the way, but let's stick on 7,000. Right? Gold is definitely seeing 7,000. But in the long run, it's on a bullish move. And more investors are already digging into it. All the Arab guys are here, all the big guys are here, and now it's actually been backed up with real-time gold. Please note that this is digital gold. It's different from real gold, but the digital gold is backed by real gold. So the more real gold that is being purchased, the more the value of digital gold goes up. And if you go to the market now, you want to buy a real gold, it's not selling at this price. The real gold price is around $2,000. It's the digital gold, right? But then it's backed up by gold itself. Backed up by gold. So as it's going up, the price of gold is definitely going up in real time, but it's not moving as fast as this. So definitely, if you get to like 5,000, maybe real time gold could get to like 3,000. But this moves that way. Right? So it means that people are purchasing it more. It's being more valued. It's moving. So the new way that influences it is like it's fundamental crisis. The war that is happening now. You see the war that was happening, the good oil war, the fighting, right? That's the political tension that happened that lead to Trump taking over and kidnapping a country president and all of those stuff. Now it in a way it was for oil, right? Price of oil drops down, but that's a geopolitical crisis already, because there's a little bit of fight, a little bit of force. The fact that we'll bring down your country, we don't do this. There's a little bit of drone, they bomb some places and all of those things. So it's definitely going to affect gold in a way, because it has to keep buying. Those are little crises, country to country. So these people know what they are doing. They know what they are fighting. No war is actually ending in real time. No war is ending in real time. So whenever they want the assets to start pumping again, they start a real time war. So the war is not ending. This has to keep buying. There are a lot of things influencing it. The political crisis, economic factors, and all those. So back your gold trading up with fundamentals, and then fall back to risk management, and then focus on risk to reward when it comes to your risk management. Risk little and try to catch much, and then manage your much that you have collected small again to the next time you collect another big one, right? So you don't end up being broke, and then that's how you trade gold. Manage the little it gives you to the next time it gives you again. Makes sense. I think with that, I'm good. Does anybody have a question? We go with. My screen wasn't showing.
Okay. It was showing. Maybe it was his network. Please, questions will be at the end. We are going to answer questions at the end for Vicky. Even when Vicky will leave the session, let's say Vicky will not stay till the end. At the end of the day, we will still forward these questions to her, and her response will be sent to the general group, like into this trading community. So if you enjoyed Vicky's sessions, you understood all he was saying, just drop some fire emojis in the chat. Just drop fire emojis in the chat while we are waiting for Casey trader Casey to come up. I need to see some fire emoji in the chat. Abaseno, Oprah, I've seen so many names. Matthew. Okay, Etienne. Great. So, Vicky, thank you very much. That session was insightful, and I've learned a whole lot from all you have said about trading gold, especially intraday, not like a swing trader, but intraday, like scalping with gold. So that was good. Thank you all for the emojis, the reaction, and all. Now, the next speaker is the man who has conquered the markets. From currencies to commodities to crypto to synthetic to stocks. He has victory all over the market, right? Last year, his private premium stocks client did over 1,067 ROI, right? His name is Trader Casey. He's the Baba of the boys, right? So at this moment, I hand over the floor to him. Welcome. I want to see, let me have some reaction, some engagement. Let's welcome Trader Casey. Let me see more reaction. Ranking, wisdom, Adekule, thank you. All right, Morgan, Casey.
Okay. Thank you very much. You know, when you want to kill a dog, you give it a big name. Actually, it's not 1% ROI. It's actually 1,200% ROI.
Oh my God, no vex. Sorry.
No, Allah,
but I said
Allah.
over, so you still cover 1,200%.
Yes. This I get F9 for English.
Okay.
It's good to be here. Everyone, including some of my audience. I think I can see some of their faces. Sorry, not their faces, their names. Okay, thank you very much. And thanks also to the host, A+. And then thanks also to Trader Vicky. I was literally enjoying all of our sections, especially as she dropped an highlight about day trading. For A+, he was bringing good DXY from an overview, but I really enjoyed what she did. Okay, I will be talking a bit about seasons and times and then stock. Seasons, times, and then stock. But before I start, I want every one of us to put our right hand on our chest. Don't worry, we're not making a confession. Put your right hand on your chest and breathe in and then breathe out. Number 4, you're not doing that. You're staring at me. Your right hand on your chest, breathe in and then breathe out. Beautiful. Now, there's a reason why I told every one of us to participate in that particular action. You see, the whole market is like a loop. The whole market is like a loop. And I will explain what I mean by that. Newton's first law of motion says, to every action, a body would continue to be in a state of constant motion or constant rest until an external force comes to act on it. How many of us be science students here? Not the Malian will, correct science students. So a body will continue to be in a state of constant motion or a state of perpetual rest until an external force comes to act on it. Now, you see, that does not just apply to science alone. It applies to life. It applies to trend as traders or investors. And it applies to what I'm about to show us today. Remember, a body would stay in one place until an external force comes to act on it. And a body will continue to move until an external force comes to what? to need as well. That's why when you're driving, you're always instructed to put on what? Your seatbelt. So in case village people start to pilot your car, make seatbelt at least drag you come. So seatbelt in that case functions like that external force. Now I will take my time to explain what the external force is in the market. That's why I said the market is like a loop. So every one of us who did that particular exercise by putting our hands on our chest and breathing in and then out is a reflection of what goes on in the market. Your breathing exercise, you breathe in and then you breathe out. It's a reflection of what goes on in the market. Your breathing in and your breathing out shows how the market moves. You see, most of us just look at breathing in like, we'll be human beings. So no. It occurs in every segment because all of these things, according to Fibonacci, they are in sync. How many of us know Fibonacci, the mathematician guy that gave us Fibonacci retracement, expansion? Pardon? I think someone was speaking. So how many of us know Fibonacci? I was asking a question. How many of us know Fibonacci? The mathematician. Yes. The mathematician guys that gave us the concept of Fibonacci.
I know Fibonacci.
Trading strategy. Okay, where we use mathematical programming justify where the market is going to pull back and all of that. Now, you must understand that the market is in sync and the market is a loop. For every time, the market will continue to move in this loop until an external force comes to act on it. Remember the Newton's first law I quoted? So the market will continue to move up until an external force comes to act on it, bringing it down. The market will continue to move down until an external force comes to act on it, changing its direction back up. Every of the analogy that A+ was given with his overview about DXY, BTC, you would notice a caveat. It was usually dropping a caveat. If this, then that. If this, then that. Do you agree with me? So he's putting that little element, just like we do in science, error, parallax, error due to parallax. Now, he's giving that small room to this factor or force that may change the direction of the market. So if you look at the clock in your house, you realize there's 12, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Now, for every time that long hand moves to those major clocks, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of that, you see, it gives us a reading about the hour. It gives us a reading about the hour. That's exactly what this loop does. The market is in a state of consistent loop, but there are times and seasons, which I'm about to focus on today, and then I'll show us some of the stock that we can position in. Well, I'm not here to come and drop signals and say, buy this stock, don't buy this stock. I want to show you a mental framework. I want to show you how to think, to catch trend, because the title of this is Trends and Trade for 2026, right? That's why we were able to cash that kind of move for that last year, where we had so much gains. So now, if the market is moving in a loop and there's an external force that wants to act on it, I want to let you know that the market is divided into seasons and then times. Seasons and then times. Seasons and then times. In your own country, wherever you are, there is season and then there's time. There's season and then there's time. In the market, every of the move you see that has taken place, every major interruption that has occurred in the market was simply that external force acting on the loop. I'll say that again. Every time, I hope this is not too high. Everyone can understand me, Abi? Or make they speak within English. Now, every time, can I get a feedback to that? I hope this is clear. Now you understand me?
Yes, we understand you.
We understand you. Yes. So every time markets they move, now something they always they interrupt them from generations to generations to generations. And I'm going to show you some highlights. Now, there's what we call the sitcom bubble, and then there's what we call the dot-com bubble. And then there's what we call the gold rush. These three highlights I gave, they are interruptions in this market loop. If you noticed, they changed the direction of the market for life. We are currently in another loop, and another force is acting on this loop, about to change the direction for life. Your wealth in the market is not pursuing this stock that wants to go up and this stock that wants to go down. No, that's a very wrong approach to the stock market. Your wealth in the stock market is about positioning, not following the bandwagon. It's about positioning. That's why for some of us, we've been holding NVIDIA, we've been holding Netflix, not NVIDIA, we've been holding Netflix for 3-4 years. And our portfolio has seen crazy amounts of profit within that 4 years of holding. For some of us who are holding Nigerian stock, Wema Bank, I gave a signal for Wema Bank at 4 naira. Wema Bank is currently at 22 naira. You can calculate the percentage increase. That same year, I got into a particular stock called ROTS. ROTS is one of those stock that is related to fight, war, the Indaboski, the aerodynamics, and all of that. Now, why was I interested in that particular stock? Let me deviate. I was interested in that particular stock because as at that time, Israel and Hamas, they were having issues. And if Israel is having issues with Hamas, it means that blood is being shed. We'll pray about that. But it also means that money is being made. So as an investor, this is recorded. Okay. There are some things we'll not talk about, but money is being made. Now, if money is being made, somebody is benefiting and somebody is funding with an expectation of ROI. Now, what did I do? I carried this information and I began to look at the US budget. Of course, everyone knows the US budget for war, ammunition, fight, and all of that is crazy and intelligence. Now, I was looking out for the companies that they usually give contracts to. And I found out 5 stock companies. And ROTS was one of them that when I went through their financial statement, for income statement, balance sheet, and their revenue was superb as at that time. Then I keyed into that particular chart. I forgot about it, and I came back to meet 100%, as easy as that. I sold thinking I was in profit. I checked just last year, December, a space of 2 years, it has done over 400%. So you see, the big money you're finding in the stock market, the big money you're finding in the financial market is not chop and clean out. It is not come. Let me see if it will give me 5% and go. No, it is investment based on convictions. And that's why I'm expounding this to open your eyes to certain convictions that are at work already in your horizon that you probably are not paying attention to. So like I said, the market is a what? Is a loop. And every time there is an interruption, there is a disruption, it is that external force that is coming to act on this market. To stop it for a while, then it continues. You stop it for a while, then it continues. That's the external force that comes to act on the body. Otherwise, it will continue to go up and up, or it will continue to go down and down. But in this case, it is in a cyclic manner. So the market is moving in a loop until an eruption or a disruption comes to what? Hijack that movement and change the course of the market. Now, in time past, we had what we call the gold rush. The gold rush in about 1800, people were rushing to harvest gold, we were rushing to mine gold, but there were 2 key guys who made so much money from that particular gold rush. And no, they were not part of the gold rush guys. One of them was Strass. What was he doing? Every of these people that was going to mine gold, you know, hope can be very deceitful. Every of them that were going to mine gold who had an expectation that one day I will hit jackpot. That's the Naira bet syndrome. Now, but what this guy did was, I know you are going to hit jackpot. Why you are going there? That area is not good. So I have jeans for sale. Come and buy jeans. The jeans you are putting on, that's part of the area that made jeans popular. Come and buy jeans. You know, this area you are going to work, you need jeans. Then the second person, I cannot remember his name, that made so much money from that gold rush, was selling shovel. I know you want to go and harvest shovel. Come. I love you so much. Come and take shovel. Come and take pan. Come and take instrument you used to harvest. Guess what? A lot of the people we are going there to harvest gold, to mine gold, they did not hit the jackpot. So who hit the jackpot in this instance? It was these two guys. The one that was offering value, dishing out jeans to these guys because they were coming in their numbers, and the other that was selling pans to these people. I want you to think about that for a moment. So when you hear people say, oh, the dot-com bubble, majority of our forefathers, majority of our fathers, majority of those who had lived before us entered into debt because they were trying to chase trends. They were trying to follow the bandwagon. What is the bandwagon? Internet. Anybody that stamps .com on anything, boom, boom. And then so that's why you understand the progression I'm going out. I'm not going to take my time to explain seasons and times. I'm explaining some of these disruptions that has taken place in time past. Remember, if you forget anything today, don't forget. The market is a loop. The market will continue to be in this loop until an external force comes to act on it. Are we getting it? Don't forget this. Now, when the internet bubble came, the dot-com bubble came, it became so frenzy. People were paying attention to it and all of them, and then it crashed. But guess who made money from it? It was not the web designer guy. It was not the tech bro. It was who? It was people who had platform that were resilient of that particular crash. And that's what gave birth to the Amazon that we know today. That's what gave birth to the Google that we know today. Follow me carefully. Now, during the oil saga, there were a number of people who were drilling oil, drilling oil, drilling oil. We have seen some good minerals. Let's harvest them. There were some who were not following the bandwagon. What were they doing? They simply offered their platform to say, come, we love you too much. Why are you going to the sea to go and harvest oil? Let's give you our platform supply vessels. Let's give you our platform to harvest these things. Just be paying us a little amount. And that's how Slobenja became more popular. You know, the reason I'm taking you through history is a number of us want to make money. We want to hijack profit from the stock, but we are not students of history. We are not students of history. Even your technical analysis, the ability to predict trends, the ability to do all of that, rests on what? Technical analysis. And it's resting on a principle called, one of the first principles is history would always repeat itself. This is another thing you shouldn't forget. History would always repeat itself. That's why I told you the market is a loop. So when that oil saga came and left, Slobenja was top of the people who benefited from that move. And then we had the Bitcoin move. I'm just trying to summarize. Why the Bitcoin move? Because this is a whole study. There's a lot of graph that I did and plotted concerning this, but we'll just be giving you the teaser as it is or as they are. Now, when it comes to the Bitcoin move, when it came to the Bitcoin move in 2008, before the Bitcoin move,
you can share your screen and be showing us all of this. You can share your screen and let them see.
Sorry, let me share my trading view.
You can share your trading view. Yeah.
Just a moment, just a moment. I see my screen, Abby. I will still write some things on my screen. I'm dropping all of these so we'll know where we're coming from first before we can say this is the trade for 2026 or this is the trend for 2026. I hope this is clear. So now, where was I? The financial saga in 2008. Now, the banking industry was already facing a pressure movement. The 2006, 2007, 2008 crash that was pioneered by these company, Lemro, was only but a trigger. That's why we need to understand times and seasons. Because when the disruption is coming, first, it does not need your permission. Second, you may never know what the disruption is about. You can only make speculative guess. But once you prepare your mind about a disruption that is coming, you'll be better attuned with the market and make money from the market when these interruptions and disruptions occurs within the loops. Does it make sense? So now, 2008, the Bitcoin was bet. And then that particular bet of Bitcoin was a disruption to the economic loop, was a disruption to the market loop. If you check, between 2018 now, we have produced more Bitcoin and cryptocurrency millionaires that the internet did. How many of us agree with that? We have. I came into the crypto space in 2016. Right? Now, when that period was over, guess who were the people who became victorious? First, it was a number of the people who bought Bitcoin, kept Bitcoin, but most of us sold our Bitcoin because even though we're reading the white papers, internally, we didn't really see Bitcoin as that digital gold that it was marketed as, right? So some of us sold our asset, but guess those who made so much money from that BTC? It was people who created platforms, that enabled easy buying and selling of BTC. One, it was people who created platform where crypto traders can access their portfolio and wallet, apart from blockchain. Are you seeing that? These were some of the people who made so much money. These two twins who claimed Facebook stole their idea. Remember the two twins? I can't remember their name now. They made so much money from BTC and then they plunged it into platforms. Notice, they plunged it into what? Platforms that could enable traders do whatever they want to do on the platform. They were not buying BTC to keep for a very long time, even though they had BTC, because money, as it were, is like a currency. It is a currency. It would move from generation to generation throughout this loop, but the exchange will depend on this disruption. I'll say that again. Money as a currency would move cyclical from one generation to another, from one person to another, from one airline to another, but it will take disruption to exchange it. That's why the disruption we are currently facing is that of AI. I hope this is making sense. Is that of AI. Now, this particular disruption would produce more millionaires as well. But guess what? It is not those who are using ChatGPT. It is not those who are buying NVIDIA. As popular as NVIDIA, as profitable as it is, the people who make so much money, when I'm talking about tangible wealth, the people who make so much money from this AI are not those who will be buying CoreWeave or NVIDIA and all of that. No, not at all. They will be those who are focusing on one, chips, your microchips, two, your semiconductors, three, your data centers. So you are focusing on platform that enables AI to thrive. You are focusing on cloud systems, your Amazon, AI clouding, and all of that. You're focusing on data centers and real estate around data centers. I hope we know when we say the internet is in a cloud, I hope it's not a physical cloud that you're looking at. It's somewhere in Ogbomoso. It's somewhere in Maryland. It's somewhere, someone is distracting me. It's somewhere in Italy, in a place, in a location. They are called data centers. They need light, they need solar, they need power, and they are resting on land. Now, what if AI fail? It is still none of your business. Why? Because you are not banking on AI, as it were. You are thinking like the people who had won in time past. Remember, history would always repeat itself. That's why I told you the market is in a loop. No, so if you must win, you must not focus on the obvious. What is the obvious? AI. You must focus on the things that powers the obvious. Am I making sense? So if you are focusing on the things that powers the obvious, if the obvious comes out to be successful, no wahala. If it fails like the dot-com bubble, no wahala. Because what you are buying is what can transcend beyond time. And it is sustainable. Are you getting this? So now, let me give you several phases. I will just give you several phases just to explain times and seasons, so you'll be able to understand where exactly are we now in this AI trend. Before I continue, first, how many of us believe we are in this trend? And there are some things I would want to see, but camera did. So taking obviously I could bring some deep things just to rattle with some of our mind. But how many of us believe we're in this trend? Let me see your reaction. Let me see your reaction. It's not be as though I'm talking to myself. How many of us believe? Okay. So I would want us to take something note. For every of these disruptors, I would give you a clue. Now you see, even beyond this AI, you can also use what I'm teaching to peep into the future and get some clues and then position yourself. Because remember, the money is not made from following the bandwagon. The money is made from what? Positioning. As an investor, because I believe there are investors here, you are positioning yourself. So let me give you what is common with all of these disruptors that I've mentioned, from the sitcom bubble to dot-com bubble to the oil saga to the financial crash to Bitcoin, as it were, to the internet bubble and then the AI bubble. Let me give you the phase that you would always see, and then you will judge by yourself. Because this year, irrespective of the good things people will tell us about the market, this year for us and for me is called the year of the ambiguity. And I'll take my time to explain what that means. Then I'll wrap it up. Then maybe questions can come in. So what are these phases? In all of these disruptors, Newton's first law, a body will continue to be in a state of rest until an external force comes to act on it or disrupt it. A body will continue to be in a perpetual motion until another external force comes to act on it. So we have explained these disruptors as the external force. Now, how do we get to know these disruptors? Number one, it is usually the discovery phase, the discovery period. The discovery period. Now, for the gold rush, during 1800, like I mentioned, people were excited. We don't catch gold. Same with all of these disruptors that I've explained. So what is happening in this phase is you see people, they are intrigued with this new opportunity. First, they are not in. They are not inside. They are not in. They're watching from outside. They're looking at this new opportunity and it's catching attention, but they are not interested yet. And then the next phase is where the hype comes in. And this hype is usually followed by a lot of speculations and hope. Now, what happens in this phase is people outside who saw and noticed this particular disruptor are beginning to fall in love with it. They're beginning to like it. Everybody, including our grandma in the village, wants to take advantage of it. You can see it over the last 2-3 years. You can see people say AI, 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 AI for trading, AI for this, everywhere you go, including your baba, right? Why? That's because in this phase, remember when I was talking about seasons and times, in these times, the people rushing into it are rushing based on the attention it is getting. So you will see optimism so high. You will see hope increase like never before. Now, all of this sometimes can be tied to your inflationary rates, your seasonalities, your CPI and all of that. Sometimes they could be coincidence. You get? Now, in this period, anything you touch, it looks like a magician. I bought NVIDIA. Somebody on Twitter said I should buy NVIDIA. Is giving me 100%. You are in that phase. Just calm down. You are feeling like a champion, right? Now, after that phase, this is where we see another phase called the boom. And I like to call it the bubble, because at this phase, everybody is so hyped up about this particular disruptor, and you literally hear people say, no, it cannot fail. AI cannot fail. No, it cannot fail. At that point, most of the people are already living in denial because they are no longer facing reality. What is on ground? They fall in love just like slaves. They fall in love with their captors and then the chains. So as investors, as everyday people, they fall in love with the disruptor. Remember, the purpose of the disruptor is to cause a change in the loop of the market and cause the direction, and hence that's where wealth transfer is. So every wealth transfer we see, every wealth transfer you have been clamoring for, is usually caused by a period of pain. I hope this is making sense. If this is making sense, let me know before I continue. Let me know. So let me explain something before I continue. You know, the idea of wealth transfer that we have is somebody somewhere will not come and say, buy this stock to give you 23,000%. You say, oh, I've made it. Hold on, before you cast me stone. Or someone else will say, the idea of their wealth transfer is someone wants to come and dash their money. As beautiful as those examples are, every wealth transfer initiated by a disruptor is caused by pain. Write it. It's verifiable. There are data to prove this. Every wealth transfer. Let me even give us an assignment before I continue. Let me digress. Go back in time. Go and check every of the time that S&P 500 crashed. Number one question you ask yourself. These people who are data analysts may find this very easy to shoe. When I mean easy, they will have to go through work, but they will go to find their way around it. So go to S&P 500 for those who are investors. Now, if you are new and you don't know what S&P 500 is, S&P 500 is simply a stock market indices. You can be able to track performance. You sometimes can use them as investment tools or vehicle, right? Now, for forex traders, they trade it, but it is literally a stock market indices. Just like the way you use, if you want to check your temperature, you use what they call thermometer. If you want to check the rhythm of the market, you use what they call stock market indices, and S&P 500 is one of them. So this is the tax, just to tease your mind. But every time S&P 500 crashed, you go and find out how many percent it crashed. Then it time interval between the last crash and the crash. It's not just enough to follow somebody on Twitter and say, go and buy S&P 500. Every year is doing 10 to 20%. Oh, that person is what? Is in love with a disruptor. That's why they are not putting at the back of their mind the principle of if this, then that. They're not putting behind what they are thinking and what they are investing into, what if. Because it is that question that will put you in check and balance. Are you getting? So what did I say is the first phase again? Let me see if you've been following me. What's the first phase? Write it, let me see. What's the first phase? Man, whether I get correct student. What's the first phase? First phase follow that is associated with the disruptor. What's the first phase? Man, say whether they follow me. Discovery. Thank you, Wisdom Oko.
Okay, the discovery.
Yes. The first phase is what? Discovery. That's when people discover about the disruptor and they're like, this one they knew. We never see them. They're skeptical. And then the next one is what? Hype. And I said, optimism is around this phase. And then we have what? Boom. At that period, you're already feeling like a Superman. So what you see in this period, which I like to call bubble, is there is the optimism is on a all-time high. You see everyone working without a principle of risk management or a protocol of risk management. Buy NVIDIA to go up. Bros, are you looking at the chart? It's at all-time high now. If I buy it, where else will it go to? Then for people like Asanga, they will tell you, wait, it will retrace, then buy, which is correct. But you see, this period, everybody is feeling like a magician. Most of the companies that are not even doing well, there's what they call a rub-off. There's what they call sector spillover. Some of these companies that are just struggling, that's exactly what happened in .com bubble. And many of them faded out. The sector, by virtue of the fact that they are performing, roll over, spill off. You know, if you cannot date Jane, at least date Ada. Abi? If Jane is out of your class, date Ada. At least they are still female, right? So if you cannot buy NVIDIA, it's too high. Go and buy CoreWeave. It's the principle at work here. So there's what we call spillover. The sector spills over into all of those stocks around that niche, and they're not doing anything special, but they are pumping up. At that point, everybody is feeling like a magician. And then that's where reality starts to set in. When the bubble breaks, when the bubble bursts, then reality fades. At that point, the mentor that you have been saying, this mentor, anything it costs for me is doing percent. At that time, you begin to question his mastery. Oh, that's far now. Because you are losing money, he's losing money, and he's angry that he's losing money. And maybe he's telling you, come and renew your signal fee. You're looking at, I don't understand this man. At the chop money, they might call renew signal. Eh? So at this period, only a few survive. So this period is garnished with what? Depression. Depression. Remember, I'm explaining the time. So I've explained how many times for us? 4 times. Remember, I said seasons and times. 4 times. What's the first times? Or the first phase? Discovery. What's the next one? Hype. The third one is what? Boom. Or bubble. And then the last one is what? Reality. Every time you see the market crash, every time, globally, don't believe me, go back to your chart, go and gather data around what I'm saying. You realize the market is always in 2 seasons, 4 times. 2 seasons, 4 times. You know the principle where some of us may have diverse religion, but let me ship in something to help you. You know the principle where Joseph had a dream, and he said, I see a fat cow, I see another lean cow. If a fat cow and a lean cow, one swallows another, and blah, 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 blah. That's Pharaoh's dream. He was interpreting. And then he says to Pharaoh, this is a season of abundance. And then there's a season of scarcity coming. Now, when Pharaoh heard that particular dream, he said, yeah, come and take position. You are the only one. You are not just able to interpret. That's what a number of us do. We interpret, but we don't know how to execute. We interpret, we don't know how to execute. For Jacob, he was able to interpret, and then they said, come and execute. Now, you would notice that in that period of 7 years of harvest or abundance, and the 7 seasons of scarcity, we had 4 times in that seasons. We had 4 times in that seasons. It is usually accumulated, it is usually called the economic boom, economic bubble, economic slowdown, and economic bottom. Economic boom, economic bubble, economic slowdown, and economic bottom. The real word you are looking for is in that last 2 phases of pain, which is the slowdown and bottom. The first 2 phases I call the boom, the bubble, the hype. It is where everybody is feeling like Jackie Chan. They are feeling like Superman. And it is replaying every generation, every year in history, every time. That's why I said, don't believe me, this is data. And data they bring to us. So, but this is the times and the seasons. So now, if we know these information that I'm dissecting, I want to ask, you can unmute to answer. Which seasons do you think we are in? And which times do you think we are in? Because that's where the investment principle and the investment protocol that will be positioning ourselves with is based on these seasons and times. So the floor is open. Maybe 1 minute, then I continue. Oh, okay. Let's say make a try about. Yes, yes. Another person, another person. Okay, beautiful. Now, in the same vein, let's bring it home. Let's not look at global market. Let's bring it home. Your real estate industry. This one, don't say it, so they will not go and bust my head. What phase do you think we are in? Leave the answer to yourself. Don't say it, so they will not come and break my head. But you see, knowing fully well that we have seasons of abundance, we have seasons where the market is printing money for everybody, and we have seasons where the market is somewhat bearish, it's somewhat down. What are the times we are in? At this phase, we are, listen carefully, this is very important. That's why I told you, this year is the year of the Ambija. Now, what does Ambija mean? Ambija is like a forerunner. Something bad wants to happen. Something bad wants to happen. The market is preparing your mind for that which want to happen. Now, this is from me to you. There's going to be a financial tsunami that will come to us. What will be the disruptor? Remember, we don't know. But if we pay attention enough to understand, just like all of the examples I've given us, that the market is in a loop and there's always a disruptor, whatever the disruptor will be, our job is once we sense it, we position, and that's where we can make investment. But before that comes in, because most of the things you desire, most of the stock you want to buy, most of the currency you want to buy, you get them at a discounted rate. Trust me, you get them at a discounted rate. But we cannot say the time. Are you seeing it? So we use seasons and times to meander our way. So let me give you an instance. I've mentioned some of the things that we need to look at for. AI. We're not focusing on AI. What are we focusing on? Data centers, cloud, AI cloud, where they host some of these their informations. There's semiconductors. There's a cold war currently going on between US and China on semiconductors. There are major companies in China already producing semiconductors. Don't look at semiconductors as something that's very similar. Do you know why gold was pumping in 2025? It was not because he's a junior brother to gold, silver rather. Silver was pumping 2025. It was not because he was a junior brother to gold. It was pumping because of use case. What do I mean by use case? It was in high demand as at last year. Why? Because of what? Semiconductors. So if you want to narrow down, this is what you do, because they're telling me time up now. You come to these websites, you come to categories, ranking by categories. Now, I mentioned your semiconductors, I mentioned your data centers. Now, come to data centers. Look at AI, then these semiconductors. Click on semiconductors. So I'm literally teaching you what to go and look out for. So these are themes for this year, your data centers. So even though we are expecting a tsunami, if you buy a data center stock, it will go down, but you will not go down with it. Why? Those are things that will outlive the AI bubble. Comes to stay or not, they will always be data center. Just last month or last 3 months, there was a power interruption in one of these data centers, and our our Signal app, you know, the Signal app that was trying to rival Twitter, Elon Musk was even laughing at them. They had a disconnect. So people that were using Signal and some other apps, they had issues. Why? There was simply what? A national grid that fell in their country. So you look at what? Look at your Broadcom, you look at Samsung, you look at your ASMG, look at this Netherlands. Now, some of these stocks are all on NASDAQ, irrespective of the country that they are hosted. Most of them are in popular NASDAQ. And you, as in Nigeria or any country right here, you can take advantage of some of these stocks, right? And then you look at this other one called CoreWeave. call weave. Let me open it. Call weave. So you see what I showed you. You can check and do some of the analysis there. But let me show up one that is very intriguing for me. Call weave, call weave, call weave. Just a moment, then we'll call it a wrap.
My network
On spill over to my
no
network.
blame.
And they make the ton.
Maybe my network.
Let me do it on investing.com. I'm coming just a moment. Let me do it. Okay, so call weave. Coming. So you see this other one. Share. It's going like what? 80. Are you seeing it? Now, remember when I told you to put your hand in your chest, right? Breathe in and then breathe out. Look at this market. From this place to this place, what did you experience?
Okay. It seems his internet is very poor and we cannot hear him again. Neither can we see his screen.
Down. From here, what are we expecting? Oh.
Hello, Casey. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Now hear what I talk.
No, we didn't hear you again, and we could not see your screen again. It's now that you're coming
really?
back live. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Where you hear last? So
we just saw the COVID charts. That was the last, and you were saying what did you notice here, and that was it.
Okay. Now from year to year, you see, from year to up, what did you experience? Remember, your hand on your chest when we started, up and down. That's the way the market moves. From year to year is what? Up. From here to this place, let me start drawing it. Let me draw it. From here is what? Up. From here to this place is what? Down. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. What do you get? In, out. What do you expect the market to do anytime from now? Talk to me, guys. In or out? Up or down? Which of them?
In, which is up.
So I think that's all for my section. So I've not just given you stock to buy for next year. I've told you how to position yourself. I've told us how to position. You can use this you can replicate this anywhere. If there's a disruptor that is coming years to come, you can use what I've taught you now to take advantage of it. If you want to, there are some examples I cannot give. This is the record. This example just drive home the point faster for bad boys around here. But no, Allah. I'm done with my section. Thank you very much, A+.
Okay. Round of applause for Mr. Casey. Let's show some love with the emojis. Let's have some emojis. Show some love. Comments in the chat. How was his session? If you benefited, you learned one thing from everything he said. Let me see some fire emojis in the chats. Let me see some fire emojis or any of your favorite emojis in the chats. Wow, Chikamso, Benita, Matthias, Ranking, Great. That is some super Baseno. That is good. Okay. So next, we are having Joseph Emmanuel come up. Joseph Emmanuel, are you there? Can you hear me? Joseph, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Before I hand over to Joseph, I want to let you guys know that Joseph was one time my student. I trained him, but he has more money than me now, right? I call him the man of focus. He's a funded trader and he does 6 figures in trading profits per annum. So today, Joseph is going to show you how we trade. I'm going to say some trade setup with you. So a round of applause for Mr. Joseph. Let me see some emojis just to appreciate him and motivate him and ginger him. Abaseno, Ike, and Matthias. Thank you very much. Joseph, the floor is yours.
All right, guys. Good evening. How you guys doing? I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not going to waste time. You don't get anything about talking with my guys. They never don't talk. Everything I want to say, I think majority of what I want to say has been said. Trader Casey, I appreciate your deep insight into the market. I was here. Vicky spoke, talked about gold and how to control your emotions, and also Mr. Asa, my mentor, also share his projections on what he's expecting. So I'm not going to I'll not waste your time because I know that you have questions to ask. We've already taken a whole lot of time in this session. So I'll just share my screen and I'll just share my screen to my boss been saying make I talk about crypto. So I'll just share my screen to share a little about crypto. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay, guys. So I heard Mr. Nebet said we're still bullish on crypto second quarter, third quarter. Yes, personally, I'm still very bullish on BTC. BTC, mind you, BTC. When you look at it clearly, the altcoin market has been very crazy in the past. That is why it is only very few traders. I don't want to make it look like a banter. It is only very few crypto traders that are really active on social media talking about crypto a whole lot. So very few. Most of them, their signal communities are not really working because except people that are trading futures. You know what I mean by futures? That's active buy and sell. So the crypto market has actually gone to the point that if you don't have the technical know-how, the skills to trade the market up and down, it's going to be difficult for you to actually make profit from it. Because this market is always progressive. When I mean progressive, every year things will always come up. Every year things will always come up. We've been there in the days of NFT. Don't mind me with NFP. NFTs. We've been there in the days of how do they call them? NFT. How do they call it that one? We've been there in different seasons. This last season that just finished was how do they call it?
Gaming.
Real world assets. Yeah, we've been there in gaming, we've been there in NFT, we've been there in tokens, that's exchange tokens, like so many things. What I just want to, the idea I'm trying to pass here is that crypto, every year, crypto brings out a particular narrative. Every year, crypto brings out a particular narrative. Currently, it's AI and what? It's AI, mostly AI, because we are in the AI trend. This particular time is the AI trend. So every year, crypto brings a whole lot of narrative that we focus on. So if you want to make money in crypto, you should be looking at those narratives. We've seen meme coins from Solana ecosystem. We've seen meme coins from the BNB, that's the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. We've seen we've seen a whole lot of things. I can remember Save Moon. There was a time they said, "Oh, Save Moon for the next 5 6 years, and you'll be a billionaire." Right now, Save Moon is nowhere to be found. Not just Save Moon alone, but other good projects. Other good projects. You see project like personally. You see project like Rio. I was personally promoting Rio. Anybody that knows me will know. Rio was like real world assets. You see project like Rio, but at the end of the day, these projects are nowhere to be found currently. Like they are not doing well. These are projects that we projected that these are
Hello.
really
Okay.
projected. Sorry, yeah. These are projects we really projected that will do crazily well. We projected that some of these projects will do crazily well, like HTR, Hato Protocol. We've seen a whole lot of these things crashing down. So I'm just here to share my little idea on how I'm dealing with crypto currently, and I want you to look at it. If it is something you can follow, you follow. Now, I want you to understand that the only asset we really have, which is very solid, is Bitcoin. So for whatever thing you're investing, I can tell you clearly that I'm projecting Bitcoin to hit $200K. It will definitely happen. Bitcoin will definitely hit $200K. I have seen Bitcoin in $3,000. I've seen Bitcoin in $6,000, and today Bitcoin is hovering around $9,000 to Bitcoin is hovering around $90,000 to $100,000. Sorry, not 9,000. So I'm projecting that Bitcoin will hit $200,000. Yes, because people are now seeing Bitcoin as the safe haven where they can invest their money. Aside from gold, Bitcoin is it's where people are putting in money. And with the whole internet age thing, the way people are really understanding how money works now, people are really pushing their funds into digital currencies. And 90% of most of these top investors' funds, if you know how to track wallet, you know that they are pushing it into Bitcoin. Call it like let me not be too much on it. Call it like 75 to 80% of their money they are pushing it into Bitcoin. Because currently there are no investors, there are no people that are into crypto that will really, or let's say asset managers that will really advise people to push their money into altcoins. That's alternative coins from Bitcoin. So even if they do, they will tell you invest this, because we've seen projects, right? We've seen solid projects gone bad. We've seen good use cases not doing very well. So when after Bitcoin, the next thing you should look out for is layer one projects. You should look out for layer one projects, projects that owns their own blockchain. Project that owns their own blockchain. Those are other types of project that stands very well. So aside from current narratives like maybe AI and all those, you should be looking more of project that owns their own blockchain. For example, Ethereum. Understand? So people are building massively on Ethereum. People are building massively on Ethereum. So Ethereum is it's also safe, but you know you cannot compare it to Bitcoin. You can't compare Ethereum to Bitcoin. Ethereum is fine. Ethereum is good. My projection, I'm really projecting that I'm really projecting that Ethereum will come down to at least 1,500 before we see another good rally to previous all-time high, and may most likely surpass the all-time high. So Ethereum is another place you can invest. You over the years, Ethereum has always acted like a good alternative for Bitcoin, a good alternative for Bitcoin. And most likely we're going to see Ethereum hit $5,000 if Bitcoin pushes to about $200,000, where I'm projecting. Okay, then another thing is we're looking at Solana. Now, let me tell you something about Solana. For me, my best is Solana. Ethereum is already at $3,000. If you are an investor, if you have an investment mentality and you are ready to lose money, but losing money for a good risk to reward. When we are talking about, I heard Vicky said something like gold, you have to be patient in gold. Like you need to hit like 1:, if you see 1:5, 1:10, hit it in gold. So that's what we mean by a good investing mentality. If you want to, Ethereum is already far, except you really have good money and you really have good money to invest. But if you don't, the next thing you should be looking out for more is Solana. Solana is one crypto that over a period of time it has proven to understand, not 100%, because we've seen projects like Solana that have gone and come and also to an extent had issues, but Solana has proven to be a project that will really go far. Solana, aside from the fact that Solana ecosystem is very scalable, Solana ecosystem is very friendly and it's easy for people to build on Solana. So this keeps attracting a whole lot of people building on Solana. And when you look at it, everybody that goes to the Solana ecosystem to build, they will always use Solana. So the people are stacking up Solana, meme coins. Look at where is the meme trends running from? Solana. Currently, we've seen memes on Ton ecosystem. We've seen Ton ecosystem doing crazily well, no doubt. We've seen on Base and other. But when you look at it, you always see that investors would always look more to build on Solana. Solana is just like, aside from Ethereum, Solana is that safe place for developers, for people that are building their project, wallets, new crypto assets, meme coin of different categories. Okay, other projects, and they are also they have this, the whole ecosystem have this support for builders. When you look at it, recently we've had like a Solana saga, that is the Solana phone that is just, I bought it but I've not gotten mine. It's just something to use and entice people. Oh, buy Solana phone, when a drop comes you stand a chance of getting more airdrop. And it is something that is doable, it is something that is possible, it is something that will happen over time. Okay, so people are still bringing up innovation, and Solana is always running this hackathon that is helping builders. Okay, since they're always investing money on their builders, running hackathon, it encourages a whole lot of people to build their project on Solana. So this is one ecosystem that will be very good for a good investment. So personally, I'm still looking at Solana coming down below $100. That is where I'll start investing. That is where I will really go in very deep. Once I see Solana below $100, like this point I've marked, this is about 80 something dollars. Once I see Solana come down to this level, this is my level of going in big for Solana, because I believe Solana will definitely hit $500. Everything is projection. You should understand that everything is projection. So I'm looking at Solana hitting, I think the all-time high for Solana is 290. Did it get to 300? No, not sure. So imagine getting Solana below $100 and selling it off at $500. It's a good investment, a good 1:5, and it's something that can happen in the next run. Solana is always very crazy when it comes to moving in the next run. Okay, when it comes to moving, whenever the crypto assets like Bitcoin is moving and other altcoins is moving, you see Solana doing its thing. Okay, so I'm looking at going below $100. There was a time I was even thinking Solana will come down to $50, and not like not like it's not possible. So because I'm still targeting around this zone, not like it's not possible. It may just be something that will happen in the next 1-2 days, 3 days, maybe just crazy news in the market. We see a crazy sell-off, it drops to that level in 2 days, and the next thing is back above $100. Because once people see Solana na something wey be say as people they see and they drop, they chop them. You know that particular asset that people are not really scared of investing. Those that have good money, they are still stacking their Solana. There are people that are looking at having at least they are looking at having like 20,000 to 10,000, 30,000 pieces of Solana to show you how big people are going in on Solana. Okay, so if you are looking at this, once you see Solana below $100, you should start buying. You should start investing, start DCing, that's dollar cost averaging, buying at different key zones. As it drops, you keep buying. Okay, so I think I'll just stick to that 3. Then I'll also encourage you, if you are really looking at investing in crypto, please forget about the past narrative. We've had gaming, we've had NFT, we've had how do they call? I've forgotten some a whole lot. We've had a whole lot of narrative that came out, real world assets, a whole lot that have been there. Crypto is about hype. So when the narrative is there, if it is AI, whatever narrative is coming, invest in cryptocurrencies from that particular narrative, and don't always fail to take profits. That is one of the things. In fact, one of the things that really got me depressed in 2024 was taking profit. I made a whole lot of money, but I think I did not get the money out because I was really looking at it going very high. Okay, but now let me show you something. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. Will I see it? Now look at Rio. Personally, I started buying Rio around this area at 0. I started buying Rio at 0.2. Yeah, because I remember I started buying Rio around this area at 0.2. I kept DCing into it. I bought Rio till about 0.8 to about $1. And Rio moved in 2024. Rio moved, that's March. Rio moved to about $3.1. That was the highest on it. My projection was $5 for Rio, and I didn't take profits here. But what happened to Rio now? Just in 2 years, a year after, a year plus, look at where we have Rio. Rio has gotten back to my entry point. Okay, so this is the things you see. And if you look at Rio, the market capitalization of Rio is still very small. Even at $5, the market capitalization of Rio, being a real world asset, would not even be compared to other crypto assets that are in its category. It was less than the 20 million market capitalization if it's at $5. Okay, so but this is a project that they are building very solid. But the whole crypto thing now is making people are always very scared. People can't hold on. People can't really hold it like it used to be before. And also so many little money chasing so many tokens, because they are building so many tokens every day. So people are pushing money from here to here to here to here to here. Not like in the past that it's just few tokens. Those days we used to have Chili's, just have BNB, Ethereum, XRP, stuff like just few. But now every day, if they tell you the amount of tokens that are being created on a daily basis, you understand that no token is really a safe haven aside from Ethereum and crypto. Then maybe you can just add something like Solana for me. Then another thing you should look out for is whenever we have the next big run, one crypto asset that is going to do well is privacy tokens. Privacy tokens would really do well. So whatever is going to be the narrative, then just add it up to privacy token and make an investment. Thank you very much for your time. I don't want to take much of your time this night. I don't want to take much of your time. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Let's have some nice emoji clap for Mr. Joseph. He has done noble and justice. He kept to time. He kept to time. I didn't have to notify him. Okay, I'm seeing the emojis and all. Thank you. all of that. So let's move quickly to Q&As. So if you have questions for any of the speakers, drop it in the chat. Now, this is how I want this to be. As you are dropping your question, just put, let's say, what is that thing again? Dash, and impute and add the name of the speaker you are directing your question to. So if you are directing your question to Casey and you want to ask, let's say, for example, how can I find Nigerian stock? Put dash, then write Casey. So we know you are directing that question to Casey. So let's the question start rolling in. Let's see the questions. Okay. Let's see the questions. If I should count 1 to 10, no question, then I will just take it as if all of you understood what we have been saying since 8 p.m. all the way to 10:30. It's almost 10:30, 2 hours plus. That is, and I really appreciate you for staying till this end. We started this session with over 60 participants, but now we have about 27. So you that is here, I'm very, very, very happy. So first question, is this a question? Your lecture is high level and I enjoy it. How can we get to a granular lecture? Okay, that particular one, we are going to have more sessions again like this. This year, we are going to have more sessions like this. Maybe what we are going to be doing is each webinar, one speaker, so we make sure we don't take lots of time. So more granular lecture is going to come from Casey as we proceed this year. This for Vicky. What are those books you recommend? Okay, so ranking, this is what you are going to do. Send this message to me, send it to me on WhatsApp, right? You know the number that is posting on the WhatsApp group, so send it to that WhatsApp. Then I'll speak with Vicky directly, then get these books, then I'll post it in the group or forward it to you, because Vicky had another session, so she had to leave us. So we only have Casey and Joseph here, then me. So any question you're asking, if it's a question directed to Vicky, just drop it on WhatsApp, send it to me on WhatsApp, then it will be handled. Casey, this all new to me. Can you please throw more light on that? Your high, which high? Okay, Casey, I think you have a question. Casey, are you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I did. What's the question, please?
Looking at the chat, the question is from EME ranking. He said, I no go lie, most things you thought sound new to me. Can you please throw more light on that's your high? I don't know.
The question is not clear now. So
ranking, if you can ask you a more direct question and or explain yourself better, I think it's going to help Casey answer your question. Those 4 things you mentioned. Is it the
you're supposed to be writing notes, huh? Yeah?
discovery and all of that? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking? Disruptors, okay, wisdom. Then we are going to share key takeaways in the group after now in the trading community. So all the key takeaways will be compiled into a Google Doc, right? And we are going to share the link in the group, so you will have access to it. So some of these things are going to be mentioned again, definitely. You want to use voice? Okay, you can unmute yourself and speak. Let's hear you. Ranking, unmute yourself and speak. So while ranking is speaking, others can just type in their questions.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there's this to Casey I was asking. There's this for this thing you mentioned after saying we should place our hands on our chest. Then he mentioned the last part that said reality. He said high and high. He said like boom boom bubble or something. That's what I was trying to ask.
Okay. I get you clearly now. I was saying, um, when I was talking about times and seasons, I said there are times in seasons. And if we were talking about disruptors, I said, so let me give you popular times that goes with every seasons in history. I said one is discovery, two is hype, three is the boom or the bubble, then four is reality. And then I paired it with economic flow that I mentioned: economic boom, economic bubble, economic slowdown, and economic bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this person around Joseph, is he around?
Yeah, Joseph can hear you. Just ask your question.
Yeah.
Joseph is here.
Based on what he talked for us tonight, I was impressed, but I found out that he's much into a crypto trader, like or stock trader, other than forex. But majorly me too, I'm more of a forex trader than Bitcoin or all these stock traders. So most of this Solana things of things he was saying, I think that it can Ethereum. Although I know about some of those things or those features, but I don't really understand about that. Hello, can you hear me?
So, ranking to get your questions about crypto, are you trying to say you want to, like, you want to learn more about crypto? Are you asking how you can learn more about crypto? That's your question.
Yes, that's my question.
Okay. How you can learn more about crypto? You can send us a message, then that will be discussed
Where can I send the message?
on WhatsApp. How did you join this? How did you join? Are you inside our trading community?
Yes.
So there's a message, there's a number I use to send message to the community or send voice note chats. Chat that number. That's my number.
I think it. I really enjoyed the teaching.
All right. So I think this one is for Casey. We want to invest, but most of us don't have the privilege of your wealth of research. Do we reach out to you via Fabian? That is an bit as I believe he has talked more of you. How can we contact you after now? So after now, you can chat me as well. Chat A Plus Trading Hub. Then from there, I'm going to connect you to Casey. So Joseph, what is private coin? He didn't say private coin, he said privacy coin. Like tokens or coins that the use case is centered around privacy. So that's what he said. Pius, I have a question about just ask your question. Don't say you have a question. Just drop the questions. Just drop the question in the chats. Except your environment is quiet enough, then you can unmute yourself and speak. I think that will be the last question from Pius. I'm not seeing more questions coming in. So after Pius, we call it a day.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. Though I don't really have much to say, but I just want to ask a little question about Bitcoin. And I really want to, because I'm already in already, and I just want to get a little light on it. Because lately, since as of 5 months back, 3 months or 4 months ago, Bitcoin has been dropping crazily. As of early this year, I took a step of investing. Though I'm a pure forex trader, so I just said, okay, let me invest a little on Bitcoin. I took a buy on when BTC got to 85 85k to 80k. That was when I took a buy earlier. But I just want to ask this question. To what I'm seeing now currently, I'm still seeing more of drop, and I'm actually scared for my entry. I even added more position at 90k as of 3 days ago. When market pull back again, I added more position again. But I just want to get to understand, does fundamental affect Bitcoin?
Okay, Mr. Joseph, I hope that I believe that question
Yeah,
is for
I
you.
want
Mr.
to
Joseph, are
know
you?
if
Pius, I've heard your question. I'm trying to
okay,
draw the
okay.
attention of Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, can you hear me? Hello, Joe. Can you hear me? I think
Yeah,
you're.
sorry, I just stepped out. Do I have a question?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the
Pius asks if fundamental affects Bitcoin.
affect what?
If fundamentals affect Bitcoin, that he bought Bitcoin.
Definitely.
He bought Bitcoin at I think 90, then it
At
dropped
85k.
at 85
Yeah.
and at 90, right? Okay.
Definitely, fundamentals affect Bitcoin a whole lot.
Okay.
Definitely. In fact, Bitcoin is more fundamentally driven than technicals. Okay. Yeah. So definitely.
Okay.
When we
Today
have
weekly.
lots, of, in fact, anytime we are having more uncertainty in the world concerning wars and all those things, Bitcoin would always stand a chance to skyrocket because people are seeing it as safe havens and they'll be pushing their funds to Bitcoin. You can
Okay,
easily
today,
work now.
okay, sorry, sir. Today weekly and the monthly time frame, do you feel BTC is still going to drop from your own end? What is your view from
I think this is where I drew my point. So Bitcoin actually filled this gap, like you've seen it here at this point. The Bitcoin has filled this gap. So highest thing I think is going to happen is maybe drop again to double bottom here, then just keep pushing. Okay, but I'm not really seeing it go beyond going down to 75. I don't really see. I think Bitcoin is from here. Bitcoin is moving back to all-time high. Like from here, from this around, this is accumulation. I heard Mr. Nebe talked about accumulation here, so this is an accumulation. So if you look at it, you always this is like a lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher. So this is just a corrective move to fill the gaps, and from here we are expecting the next leg up will definitely break the previous high. So that's it.
Okay, that's just my question. I just wanted to get more to understand more about the fundamental about Bitcoin.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate for all the classes to answer more.
Can I ask one more question?
Okay, go ahead.
Based on what this last person talked about fundamental, does any market at all, maybe from the crypto or the forex, that cannot be affected by fundamentals? Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you ask your question again?
Okay, I said, can any market or any pair at all, either from the currency pair, from the crypto or the forex, that cannot be affected by the fundamentals?
Who are you directing your question to?
And Joseph, the last person that
Okay.
spoke.
Mr. Joe, you have a question again. Mr. Joe, can you hear me? Okay, I think he's a bit off. Okay, let me answer your question. If I can get you clearly, you ask if there is any currency pair or market that is not affected by fundamentals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it comes to stocks, indices, and commodities, which is gold and silver, copper, and crypto, which other one again? All these markets I just mentioned are affected by fundamentals, right? But synthetic, if you trade synthetic, that is not affected by fundamental. like VIX 75 and boom and crash, all of those ones, they are not affected by fundamentals. I hope I've answered your question. All right. So I can't see any. Please mute yourself. I can't see any other question in the chat. So I believe that is all the question. If you have more question that comes up after now, you can always send us a message on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number will be posted in here, or the WhatsApp number that is communicating in the trading community, like the A Plus Trading Hub WhatsApp number. Just chat, drop your questions, and we are going to get feedback. So the key takeaways and the next steps will be compiled in a PDF or a Word document format, and it will be shared to everyone inside the group. And also, in this recording, we were recording. So this recording, after now, we'll see how we can maybe edit it and make it a bit short because it's almost 3 hours. Then we also make sure you have access to it. So thank you very much for staying up to this time. It's almost 3 hours. I do not take this for granted. I appreciate it, all the wisdom. I also thank all the speakers, Casey, Joseph, Vicky, who is not here. Thank you for sharing massive value and insights about the market. And to you who joined this webinar, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. We are just starting 2026. So you, with the information and the knowledge you have gathered here, you need to take action. You need to take action. If you don't know how to take action and how to make some good, decent returns, don't forget chats with A Plus Trading Hub. Whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto or currencies, any of the markets that you want to tap into and you're an investor, chat with A Plus Trading community, and we are going to connect you to the right channel, and that will be it. So once again, thank you. I'm so excited. I'm happy that we started with 60 and now we are 22. So do enjoy the rest of your nights.